Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you doing? Hopefully pretty well. Today I want to make a video talking about something I don't like talking about, but it's something that I need to talk about and just put this information out there for people, because I found something that really helped me and changed my life. And hopefully it can do the same for you if you're in the same shitty situation. But do two things: tell you about this stuff and eat these hot wings. That's so good. You know, the key to good hot wings is getting an air fryer. I guarantee you get an air fryer. Go get some of those Tyson's or Foster Farms, whatever the heck you want. Just get those wings and put them in there. Just keep cooking them till they're crispy. Better than anything you can get. But aside from dinner, what I really came here to talk about was my 5 to 7 year drug addiction. I started off having fun, got a prescription for something that happened that I needed it for. Took them, didn't really bother me. They gave me more, took them, didn't bother me. Years later, I didn't meet, but I was hanging out with a good friend, and this friend really liked these pills. And we were both going through something at the time, relationship-wise. And it was like these pills were the only thing that would make this person happy. And they would lament that every day. Oh, we need more. Gotta do more. It's fun anyway, so why not? And being a people pleaser, I pleased and was like, yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and do that. And I knew where to get them anyway, because one of my jobs, I work in the service industry, and if you work at a bar, you know. But we were taking them all the time. Ended up getting like hooked, I could tell. And it freaked me out. Like, I looked online and saw that it takes like a 7-day period or week or more if you're just trying to get off. And I felt terrible every time I would run out, or any time that I couldn't get them. Like, if you don't know what it feels like once you're detoxing or coming off that shit, it feels terrible. It's for me, it just felt like a nightmare. I mean, you can't sleep at all. You're awake all night. Your legs are wiggling around. You get the Jimmy legs. You're yawning like crazy. I was getting cramps, like in this neck muscle or whatever this is. This isn't even a muscle. This skin and whatever this is underneath would get a cramp, and like it hurt. Yawning out of control, just your eyeballs are just tearing up like you're watering every second. You're freezing, you're sweaty, you gotta pee a lot, you got diarrhea. It's not fun. it's effed up. But within this big time frame, there was multiple times where I didn't have them, or it just wasn't working. I didn't want to take them, like whatever it was. Like I wasn't thinking that I was like addicted to them. So I was like, yeah, I'll just drink tonight. I'll just do this or do that. And it would always hit me, and I realized I need help. So I did what I thought was right, and I called my doctor, called some specialists, just went around checking what I could do. I went to this guy, and not every doctor can like give these drugs, this Suboxone shit. Only certain ones can, with certain certificates or whatnot. And I went to one that was like right next to my house. It's like, this is perfect. This guy's right over here. I can walk there if I want. But I went and I saw this guy, and he said, we've got this stuff that can get you off and get you back to normal life. It's called Suboxone. And I didn't know anything about it. I just knew I was in dire straits where I was at, and I was miserable. So I took the stuff, he gave it to me. He's like, okay, so what you're gonna do is take, you know, a strip a day. And I kept my last two, or my last one anyway. But that's what it was, the generic I was getting. Bupropion. I don't know. If you can read like backwards or reverse, there you go. This shit is a class like 3 narcotic. It's like more illegal than heroin and opium, like everything. So it's hard stuff to get prescribed, and they test the shit out of you, make sure you're taking it. You pee test every month. It's like probation. Like, it's really like probation. It sucks. And the thing that sucks the most is that you're stuck. You can't go live your life. You can't do anything. You always have to be right wherever your doctor is, so you can see him every month. And then you can go to the pharmacy every month and get your stuff so you can function like a normal human being. This worked for me for years. But I started to notice that I didn't want to be on it. I didn't want to go to the doctors every month. I don't want to do this shit. And I would try to get off. I would like, and I couldn't. It felt just as bad, if not worse, than the first time once I was just trying to get off of the pills. And this stuff, like, I have it. Like, he gives it to you. I got enough for a day. He says to cut this in half. And this was bad because I went to another doctor, but he told me to take this stuff, cut it in 2, take 1 in the morning and 1 in the afternoon. My other doctor I went to, they were a lot more reputable and just better in general. But they said, no, Chris, you don't take that in the morning and at night. One little taste of it is going to stay within your system for 24 hours. So you're just like upping your dosage. And that also made it hard for me to come off. Because the goal was to taper down a little bit, and we all have good days, we all have bad days. You hit that bad day and you're like, screw it, I'm taking the other little piece. Or, it gives you a feeling. But I was cutting off little pieces, and I'd cut it into 2s, and then I was cutting them into 3s, and I would take 1 in the morning. And it was working, it was okay. It wasn't where I wanted to be. And every time I tried to take it any further than that, all the symptoms again, all the pain. It was just like a nightmare. And, with everything else, like the coof and the bars closed and like everything closing down, it just got to be very depressing, and just to a point like I just want it off. And this year's been a rough year for everybody, I know, but for me especially, I bumped into some patches. I was grazing the bottom. My whole chest's all scratched up from every time I hit that bottom. But I ended up just hitting it, and something changed. Like I was like, I'm getting off. I'm done with all this stuff. I'm done with this year, everything. And for whatever reason, I found this book. I got it over there. I don't want to get up and get it. God damn it, I'm gonna have to. Sit right there. Okay, sorry. Ah, shit. Forgot to put my little thingy on. That's weird. My Mountain Dew's making some sounds over here. Wants me to drink it. But anyway, I had found this book before, and this author, and I liked it. It was very interesting stuff, but it was kind of along the lines of, something a little bit too spiritual for me. Like there just wasn't any facts around it, and I'm a very spiritual individual, but once it comes to this medical stuff, I need to see some medical facts, And I just started, picking up this book I got, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. I guess that's backwards again for you, whatever. But this book was interesting because I was just at a low point once I was reading it. Like, this dude actually, he's a doctor, he's been a doctor forever, and he actually puts in the science and like all the facts and all the stuff about like how these little things work, this program works. And it's very, very interesting stuff, for one. And it's just good. Like, it makes you feel so good to just give up and frickin' just put yourself into care of yourself, your higher self, of just anything other than you, because look where you got you. Got you all fucked up just like me, right? Yeah. So, if you keep fucking up, I keep fucking up, why not try something different? So I went into this thing, reading, watching YouTube videos, just doing everything I possibly could to absorb all of these messages, all the stuff that he's talking about, the manifestation, the making your new future, like building the connections and cells in your body to cut that addiction off. There's people that had stage 4 cancer that don't have cancer anymore because of this stuff. So it might be a little out there for some people. But from what I've seen, it's the most real thing there is. Like I said, I didn't want to make the video. I don't want to talk about my dirt. But if it helps one person, I want to do it. And what I did was I just started reading, and he had this little program, this little thing. He says, if you meditate every day for 30 days, just do it in the morning for 10, 20 minutes, do it in the evening before you go to bed, you'll start seeing a change. Start living in a happy, abundant way. Like, just feel like, whatever situation you're in, you could be living in your car, on the street, in the most miserable conditions. But if you believe that you're not, that you're like, could be worse. I could be sleeping in that puddle of water right there. But you just believe and put yourself out to the future self that you want. So I would be living every day like in pain, feeling gross, but I would pretend, I'd be Peter fucking Pan and pretend that this isn't that bad. It doesn't bother me. And you know what? After a couple of days, it didn't bother me. Yeah, I can't sleep tonight, but I'm gonna sleep good tomorrow. Ooh, thank you for that good sleep. And doing these little tricks, like it kind of helped. I don't know if it was a placebo effect or something in the beginning, but it definitely wasn't a placebo effect towards the end. Now what I did was I just got sick of taking those things. So here's one. This is the last one I took. And I wanted to keep some trophies. I'm never touching this disgusting shit again. I'm not putting it in my body, but that's about the size of a regular strip, right? And these little cut marks, that's where I was shaving off little pieces. And what I did was I started shaving this one thing into 2. And then I did a couple of days of that, then I went into 3. And then a couple of days of that, you know, I went into 4. And then after I did that, it was down so much that I was like, you know what? I'll cut it into 6. And once I was trying to do that, it just wasn't cutting right. Like I got to get out my Tonto blade with this little tip and just really get in there with like a razor's edge to cut it up that small. And I was cutting these within like the second week of me trying to wean off and quit. After 7 years of weaning off and trying to quit every kind of way I could think of. And I was doing it like with this speed. And I was telling myself every day, this is working, this is good, I'm already healed, I'm doing great. And I felt good. I didn't feel like I used to, just that sweat, that misery, where you're just living in the past and living in that past misery. I cut that out and I started living in that future, living in the joy of not having to take this poison to leave my prison and get back out there into life. And there was one other thing that I did during this time. And it just helps like reinforce this new story that you're telling yourself. It helps reinforce all this stuff. And it's to get a little journal. Yeah, look, I got me a little journal. I put a sticker in it. But yeah, I made me a little book of daily affirmations and gratitudes, like he was saying in his little program. And every day I went in there and I was writing like I was living in the future. Like, what's this? My very first one. I was like, today start my journey, blah, 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 awaken my higher self and rewrite my brain and shit, like all the shit that I read out of the book, heard on the videos. And every other day I just kept going in, writing. And in the beginning I was writing in the morning and at night. And I was writing for things that I wanted to manifest. And there was some weird stuff with that too. Oh, and then I was using some different colors, because the other thing, like, since it is something like fun and important to you, to me anyway, you're writing yourself into a new thing. Like, I went and got this badass pen off of Amazon. It's called a Moon Man, and it's just a calligraphy fountain pen. It makes it fun for me. It makes it fun, and it makes the magic work a little better. So if you want to go bust out a fancy pen, journal, whatever you want, you can do it. But it just helps reaffirm, helps ingrain that placebo or that whatever you think it is, until that meditation starts kicking in. Until you start going, and then you go from sitting, feeling restless, getting bored, having to pee, your nose itches, your balls itch, whatever, to nothing really bugs you. And instead of 10 minutes, I can sit for 20. Instead of 20, I can sit for 30. Instead of 30, I'm up to an hour. Like, it's fun. It becomes fun. And you start feeling different. Like, you can really feel all that poison just melt out of your body once you're just in that space of nothing, just sitting in that field of nothing. It really does melt away the shit that's wrong with you. And I started, like, not really getting visions or anything. I've had like one, and it was more just like, I don't know, I think my brain was short-circuiting, and I was just like seeing, you know, some screens or something that I've seen before, but in like vivid color, like this, like you're looking at a video. Like, I seen that shit in my head. And you know, it was nothing spectacular, but it was neat to me. Mostly though, you see these, like, the aurora borealis type colors and stuff moving around. And what's very interesting to me, part of the science, is that this kind of work, once you're working away from this, you're working on your pineal gland. That's the little thing in the middle of your brain, right here in the front, that looks like a pine cone. And the goal is to get that thing decrystallized with all the fluoride and shit in your toothpaste and water, and just to have it open up. And what's neat about this gland is it's exactly the same as your eyes. It has the same rods and cones that your eyes use to turn all of this into something our brains can read. It has the same wiring from the back of the eyeball into the brain that the eyes do. So it has all the same circuitry, all the same shit that these do, but it can't see out because you're not trying to see out, you see in. The neatest thing about that thing is, with it being pretty much a replica of your eyeball, it does open. And it also has a couple other little things in it that are really freaking neat. And what's really neat is that there's these crystals in your head, in that pineal gland, that emit light. So in this little thing in the middle of your head, this eyeball, it's got crystals in it that emit light. So you can't see out, but it emits something, and then you can start seeing that in your head with your eyes closed. And that's some real neat science to me. I never knew that. That's weird. God damn. Now, well, getting off of this, it wasn't just roses and puppy dog tails and all that. It still sucked. It definitely still sucked. But I did, God damn it, I gotta stand up again. Yeah, just tell you, you guys know what it is anyway. Now, I tried this before too. I tried getting off 100 times using kratom. Kratom is a botanical, and it's got a lot of controversy around it. But I noticed it did help. It did help. And I also noticed if you take too much of it, it makes you a whole other kind of sick you never want to feel. Like, you lose control of your mobility. Like, it's weird. It's weird. And you're going to be puking and shitting this green powder. And nobody wants that. Nobody wants that. But I started supplementing with a couple of capsules of that. Like, I'd wake up and I didn't need Suboxone anymore. I didn't need it, but I still had that sweat, that chills. Like, my legs were okay. I wasn't yawning anymore. It wasn't doing too bad. And this was like right around week 3. And I just switched to just taking these. And that's why I still have these two, this, you know, almost full piece of it that I didn't finish, and this other one. And it's been great. Like, I don't even need the kratom anymore. Like, I'm off of that shit too. But the other thing that I did a lot of, I don't know if this is for everybody, but smoking a lot of weed. Like eating the edibles. Just stuff to, like, you feel a different kind of something, but it leveled me out. It made the most unbearable parts bearable. And God damn it, you need to do it, especially if you're a dude. You know, this stuff kills your libido. You don't want to be, you don't want to be active with your girlfriend, or it just makes you feel horrible. Everything about it makes you feel worthless. But you can function and go to work and go to family dinners and act like you're a normal person, and you function, so you do it. But I never thought I was going to get off. I tried so many times. I never, ever thought. But it just took me hitting bottom, giving up on like the shit I thought I could do. And listening to somebody else's advice, doing something that helped countless other people's with addictions, with cancer, with multiple sclerosis, with diabetes, with like all this stuff that we're like plagued with. And these people are erasing it. Now that's kind of, those are some crazy claims, right? But I watched as many testimonials as I could. I did all the research I could. I really got into it. And once I tried it, it worked for me. And I couldn't be happier, man. I couldn't be happier. It's also doing other things in my life, more positive things. Not that like that right there, that's the only thing I need in life. Just to be off that shit. Now I'm free again. I can go move to another state, take a vacation. Well, if we were allowed to. But I could do it now. I could go camping and not worry. How am I going to get my next hit? I don't have to worry about it anymore. It's a miracle. It's a miracle. And then the money you save from frickin' going, well, that third week, I kind of shifted from spending it on the doctors and the pharmacy and the P-tests, all that, to, getting some tasty edibles. But now I'm done with that, and I just, have what I have when I want. But I don't need anything. Currently, I wouldn't need anything. I still have a case of the kratom pills around, and it kind of is like, I know it's working or doing something, but it's very placebo-esque because it has such a light effect. It's like, is it working? I don't know. But days that I feel like a little weird, I might take 2 of them and go on with my day. And then once I'm doing stuff, I don't, you don't feel that way anymore. But those were the steps in what I did to get off of Suboxone. And I promise this isn't a lie. It's not a front. It's not anything other than what I said, what it is. And I'm not a doctor. I'm not a, anybody of any importance that should be giving any advice medically. But I can give advice spiritually. And I can tell stories of what I have done myself. Now, I'm not a priest or anything either, but I really enjoy telling people about this stuff and just what they can do, what anybody can do. Anybody at all can do anything at all. You're the only limit. I'll make some more videos here pretty soon and be more consistent. I couldn't before because I was stuck working. I still am, but I won't be for long. That's a different story though. It's tied all into this stuff too, but it's a different story. Anyway, if you guys are out there suffering on this shit, please pick up that Dr. Dispenza book. Please watch some videos on manifestation. Go to Brian Scott's channel. He's got a meditation called Addiction, to help get you out of addictions. And they use these binaural beats where they play frequencies at 2 different levels. And then once they hit inside of your head, they kind of level out and harmonize that frequency that, you know, puts you into a delta, theta, gamma, beta, whatever the heck. But he's got one where it just is talking about, I'm not addicted anymore. And I'd listen to it every night. Thank you, Brian. And Spirit Science, he's another good one. Little cartoon guy, makes things very easy to digest and is very informational. You learn a lot of neat stuff. But anyway, I hope this is helpful to somebody. If you have any questions, I'll answer, do whatever I can to help. This is not a fun thing. It's a triumph for me, but it's not. I mean, no, it is. It definitely is. You got to live through the dark places and the low places to really appreciate once you come out on the other side. Anyway, hope that was informative. Hit the thing. Subscribe to the thing. Have a great night. See you later.